Good Thursday morning to you here. We're 24 hours away from a major ice storm and snowstorm making its way through the Carolinas, the South. I want to give you the latest on what's going on right now. Hi, everybody. If you're new to this channel, again, please continue to subscribe, like this video, let us know where you're watching from. It really helps us out as we go back and look at the comments to see what town you're watching for, and we can couch that conversation to you for the next time that you're watching. We have new model data that's a little conflicting, and most meteorologists will say, what do we do? But the ones that have been here, done that before, will say, hey, there are some tried and true methods that we can use to overcome a little bit of model disagreement because, folks, this is winter weather forecasting. It happens every single time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll start with the high resolution model. Simply put, my forecast remains unchanged. I still expect ice or snow to accumulate in most areas of the area where you're watching from right now in the Carolinas, Georgia, all of Tennessee. It's just a matter how much. And right now I've got a new tool, and in fact, I'm going to refresh this just to make sure I'm getting the latest one in here. So this is the high resolution rapid refresh run that it's not even done finishing. It's kind of in the process. It shows a similar time frame here. We've got 9 a.m., some snow moving into western North Carolina, northeast Georgia, 10 a.m., Clemson, Pickens, Oconee County seeing some snow, some of Anderson County. By 11 o'clock, that's moving into Greenville and Spartanburg. Remember, pink on this map is sleet, not freezing rain. And then as we go toward 11 o'clock, most of Spartanburg seeing it. Noon, it's heavy. I mean, these dark blues are just heavy. That's just really coming down hard and heavy. That would be noon. By 1 o'clock, we've got heavy snow in western North Carolina. We've got heavy snow across every one of our viewing area communities in the upstate. There's a little bit of sleet in Troy and Bradley and Kirksey and southern Elbert County, but everybody that watches us on TV is seeing snow at 1 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, you've got most of the upstate still seeing snow and have been seeing snow for a couple hours now. Sleet's beginning to try to lift in here through Toccoa, parts of northeast Georgia, into southern Anderson County, Abbeville, into Greenwood County. Now, that's a typical spot. Anywhere south of that I-85 line tries to do that, and that's where the model gets us. You're saying, no! While that one loads, let's just see if it gave us another one. I mean, it literally is finishing as I'm doing this, and it does. All right, so here's 19Z. That would be around 1, 2 o'clock. Here we are at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Sleet is now mixing into the picture here along I-85 and around it, while snow's holding on in western North Carolina. So how do we combat this, or what does that mean for totals? Well, that was several hours of heavy snowfall. Let's look at what that means, or what it's trying to show as of right now. High resolution rapid refresh giving us a lot of snow. It's got, and folks, you have to remember, my forecast for the totals has remained unchanged from the beginning, and that's odd. Normally I'll swing up a little bit, or I never like to go down. But if this model's right, I may have to go up a little bit. The new high-resolution model showing higher snow totals in those areas that hold on to it longer. South of I-85 would be 1 to 2 inches of snow like I've been forecasting all along. I think 1 inch is a good bet. That may be a little bit of sleet and ice mixed in, but it's the ground covered. But you go north of 85, this is where the totals are higher on this high-resolution rapid refresh. It's showing 4 inches in Spartanburg, 5 inches in Greenville, almost 6 inches in Pickens and Oconee County, where you hold on to that snow longer. Now, this doesn't account for the fact that some of this is going to mix in with sleet, which will crunch those down. As you can see here, on top of that, or in addition to that snow, it's got around 1 inch of sleet, and it's got a little bit of freezing rain. Now, that's the new high resolution model. That gets us through the majority of the storm. This is 11 p.m. I think the majority of the storm is probably having passed by then. And if I can refresh this one, we'll be able to see it one more time, I bet. And here we go. Here's 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Snow's coming back in. Is now the low has shifted, sorry about that, to the coast right here. So that southerly influence that was pushing in some ice for a while is now wrapping back around, and northerly winds are kicking back in. So this could be a very big snow for Western North Carolina, Greenville northbound, Pickens northbound, Clemson northbound, and then that area of like Lake Robinson, Lake Lyman, up through Inman, up to Lake Bowen. Okay, so when we're in a situation like this where you have another one of our reliable computer models, the NAM, saying something totally wonky, it has such an amplified low pressure system that it gets kicked up in the jet stream so quickly that it wants to send it up here toward Tennessee, Kentucky, almost like a warm front coming in here and just not even really grazing our area. It has a major ice storm. It does not have much snow. And it normally has a cold air bias, which does concern me a little bit, that we could be looking at a big ice storm, because this doesn't have a whole lot of snow for the upstate, but it sure does have a lot of ice. So in this scenario, what I'm afraid it may be doing, not really afraid, but what I suspect it may be doing, is that it's not accounting for just how cold it is. I mean, we are really, really unusually cold out today, tonight, and that cold air doesn't stand a chance with the precip arriving. So in these situations, tried and true method that I have as a meteorologist that's been doing this for 20 years in some city in the southeast, whether it be Savannah, Charlotte, Nashville, or Greenville. 13 of those years has been in Greenville here at the WYFF4. My tried and true method is to go back to my trusty European. It's a deterministic model. It doesn't have the granular detail that the NAM does. But when the NAM's acting wonky, you go back and you look at the average of all of your models. Now, keep in mind, the high resolution model I showed you first, that is a far superior model to even the NAM. It's showing 6 inches of snow in parts of the upstate. 1 to 2 is a minimum south of 85. The Euro has held true. 9, 10 a.m. start time. Snow is happening through lunch. Snow is heavy through the afternoon. Mixes with some ice in the evening. Ice in the evening. A little bit of snow at the end, and then it's done shortly after midnight. That gives me a grand total of 1 to 2 inches south of 85, 2 to 4 inches north of 85, and around 4 to 6 in the mountains. GFS, same story. 1 to 2 inches, 2 to 3 north of 85, and then 5 to 6 to maybe even 7 or 8 in the mountains. Averaging them all together, what does the average of all the GFS models show? It has 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. Folks, my forecast is still rock solid in my opinion. I don't want to change it. 1 to 2 south of 85, 2 to 4 north of 85, and then 4 to 8. If there's anything, I may need to add a pocket of heavier snow into parts of the upstate later today. So the global model of the European, I mean, you just got to look at the track. The track on this, all of them is showing a Miller-A type system right here where it rides the coast. The NAM is doing a little wonky thing where it rings it up here amplified through Tennessee. Okay, I'll leave you with this. Every single run of our GFS models, we have 30 of them. This just gives you a better way of forecasting. Not, oh, there's one model here showing this or one here. No, I'm showing you the average of every single one of them that makes up the core of a GFS model. There's 30 of them. Every single one of them shows measurable snow in Greenville, and it shows 3.5, 4 inches. The average is closer to 4.5 inches. And just for giggles, I want to show you kind of how far reaching south this could be. Here's Columbia. This model, has 30 of them. More than half of them show measurable snow in Columbia, South Carolina. Okay, so think about where you're at in relation to that. If you're north of there, you obviously have a much better chance at seeing snow. Okay, how about the European model, the most recent European model? Every single one of the 50 different varieties of the European model shows measurable snow. The average is still right there at 3 inches. The operational run showing 3.5 inches. And again, I'll do this same trick for you again. Let's look at Columbia. Every single model of the European shows measurable snow in Columbia, South Carolina. So simply put, folks, we're going to get snow. We're going to get some ice to mix in at times. This is when you'll see some models get a little crazy. But I'm telling you, trust us here at WIFF4. We're going to be steady in the forecasting. We're not going to swing with the wind. We're going to be more measured in our approach. And I can tell you, this thing's a coming. Winter storm watch. It begins sometime Friday morning. It will continue to be heaviest through Friday afternoon, Friday evening. It's tapering off 10, 11 o'clock. By midnight, I think most of the heavy precipitation is done. You should be where you're going to be and stay there by mid-morning on Friday because things will go downhill shortly thereafter. It may take until lunchtime for you to see snow, but it's coming. Folks, as always, please follow this channel. Trust us here at WIFF4. We know you do. Like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss an update here because there will be updates. There will be total updates. There will be school closings. There will be business closings, and I want to be able to notify you when those happen. So stay safe, everybody. I'll have another update later on this afternoon.